Hello, my name's Tom Carhill. It's Friday, the 3rd of October 2014. I just want to do a little video about a different drink that's available in Thailand because one of the things that I've noticed in the past, because I came here once a long time ago, and the whole time I was here, I didn't really pick up on the fact that the drink market's a bit confusing because there's not too many beers and stuff that you can get in a standard shop or in a standard bar. So normally you can get Singer beer, which is the main brewery of Thailand and the kind of Thailand's #1 beer. The same brewery makes Leo beer. Now Leo beer is the one I've got here now, which is this Leo. So it's called Leo, but it's got a picture of a leopard on it. It's quite clearly, if you look, that is a leopard. Right now, this one here, this bottle's the size of a pint. So you can get like a smaller bottle as well. It's kind of the same size as the standard Budweiser or whatever bottle, but you know you can get so you can get Heineken in that size, and you're going to get it in the big size as well. Sort of standard international sizes. Heineken's a bit more, then it's Sing, and then it's Leo. Now that's if you get in bottles. If you get cans, you can only get small cans of Leo and Singer, but you can get big cans of Heineken sometimes. But the point is that the little cans, obviously, because it's hot, and if it's very hot in the summer and it's really hot, and it's very humid as well, for some reason they seem to get warm very quickly. So unless you're sharing it or you're gonna, neck it, there's no point in like you are better getting cans off them. But anyway, the point is, I used to like Singer the best. I used to actually think it's probably one of my favourite beers, possibly my favourite beer, especially because I'd had lots of good times when I'd had it in the very, very hot weather, when I'd had sunk a few of them at night times in the evenings, cooled me down, very nice. The thing is that Singer, when they export it, sometimes they have it at 6% or 5.5% or something. Now, whenever they mess around with it and change it, it doesn't taste right. So if you get it in England, sometimes it's 6%, and it's disgusting. It's no good. Now, bizarrely, even though I used to like it the most, and this time when I came back a few months ago, I still thought I liked it. For some reason, I think it's a systemic change with me. I just don't agree with it. It tastes very, very malty to me. Now, in the past, once I stopped eating gluten for 2 weeks, and if I had a beer, even a really sharp beer like Naschu or Zero or Peroni, it would taste really, really like old boots. It really, really tastes disgusting. So it's actually quite an interesting aside. If you ever want to do a little test to show how gluten, does affect your taste, if you cut it out for a couple of weeks, it makes a lot of difference. But anyway, when I had the Singer, it started to change, and I don't like it anymore. But anyway, as I said, Leo is the best standard beer to get right now. I'm in one way I'm slagging off Singer there. Now I really shouldn't be doing that because I used to like it the most, but for some reason I don't, and that's me, obviously. I believe, because everyone says it's just the same. The point is, when most people come on holiday, you might have seen these T-shirts and they say Chang on them, and it's got like an elephant, and Chang means elephant, but you've got to say Chang because it's an uptone, and you sort of shout it. You don't say it like quietly, like Pang is expensive and Varang is white person. All the bad stuff has like an up sound. It's like you get excited when you say it. So you got to remember that there is no like English translation in English words, because we don't have the letters in our alphabet, because they have 44 letters in the Thai alphabet and we only have 26, and J of course has only recently been added. So you've got to remember that English language isn't actually, our letters aren't up to the same standard, so you can't actually articulate it. There is no direct translation, if you understand. Now, as I said, so that's the beers. Now, there's also a mate called Archer. Now, Archer used to be considered really disgusting. I still don't really like it. It's just like a kind of beer, but it doesn't quite, it's almost like a flat beer or something. It's not too good. I don't quite like it that much, but it's not as terrible as, I think maybe they've changed it, and there's another one called Cheers, but I think that's a very cheapo one. But the point is, it's still not that much cheaper. The point is, in Thailand, is beer is expensive. It's not really much different than buying it in England. The only good thing is, if you go into a bar, it's not significantly more expensive in the bar than the shop. It might be at very most twice as much. It's not going to be much more than that. Now, I know there'd be places where you can pay more than that, but there's very few places. So, you're looking at, for like one of these bottles like this, that's 55 baht. A baht's like 2 pence, so that's like £1.10. So it's not really a lot of money, but it's not cheap either, because in other countries, obviously, beer can be very cheap. Like, Czechoslovakia in the past, you would have been able to get that same beer for like 3 pence or something, wouldn't you? Now, so that's not the case. As you can imagine, I'm equating all this back into pounds because I'm English, or well, from England anyway. But right now, this is the point. The more important thing for people to take on board, right? So for the beers, you've got Singer and Leo. They're from the Singer brewery. Leo used to be more stronger than Singer. It used to be 6 or 5.5%, and Singer's only 5. Now they're both 5%. They're both nice. Chang is the one that, again, I think now it's 5.5%, but it used to be like 7% or something. But the point with that is, and this is the really big problem, is it had all sorts of shit in it, and you never knew what you were getting. So you could have like 5 of them, and it wouldn't do anything one day, and then the next day you'd have 2 of them, and you wouldn't be able to use your legs. You'd feel all like weird, and it's because they stick lots of shit in it, right? They stick formaldehyde in it. That's what I used to hear, and I can well believe it. So again, Chang came in the same size as you get it in bottles or cans, big bottles or small bottles, not big cans. But the thing is, people will always drink it on their holiday, and then they get those muggy T-shirts that everyone gets, so like the singlets with the big Chang signs on it, and they wear them around thinking they're really cool. But obviously, I never was tricked into doing that. But it was a big thing for a lot of people. Now, as I'm on the message, the subject of the big T-shirts, Laos, as they call it here, that's above the border, isn't it? That's Laos, quite a similar country, not really much to do there. But they have another beer there, and that really is like old boots. It's called Beer Lao, yeah. Now, the thing with Beer Lao is it's one of those kind of beers. I like all sorts of alcoholic drinks, I really do. But it's the kind of beer that kind of like makes you tired, sleepy, and does all the things that a beer shouldn't really do. You wouldn't really want to drink it if you were out. It's the kind of beer somebody who'd sort of like go out, drink a load of them, and go home and beat their wife would drink, but not in a good way. Yeah, that's what I'd say about that. It's not a good beer, but a lot of people really, really, really like it. Like, I don't know. Maybe they stick something in it that makes it addictive. But a lot of people really like Beer Lao, and a lot of Thais like it when they go to Laos. So not many of them are really allowed to go to Laos very often. But when they do go there, the ones who can get in, they do like it. They normally say, and they're mad keen on just drinking it all the time. But anyway, so that's the beers out of the way. So the reason is, if you come here for a short time, you go into a 7-Eleven, because the 7-Elevens everywhere. They're franchises here, probably like everywhere else, but I know they're franchises here. When you go in, you will be buying certain things, and there's certain things that are set for tourists to buy. But the thing with the tourist stuff, I'm not talking about you getting ripped off here. I'm talking about the fact tourists think that they get a certain thing right now. So you've got the beer, they always get Chang beer, but Chang is like not nice tasting really. I mean, it's all right, yeah. But the point is, it's like, if you ask for that in an okay restaurant here, they'll look at you like you've asked to drink methylated spirits. Do you know what I mean? I think it's less of a stigma attached to it now, but it's not considered like really acceptable to be drinking that in an okay establishment, And of course, you could go into a place here, it could be a right little rat hole, but they'd still consider it quite nice. So you couldn't even ask for it there, because I've been in places where they've given people some really nasty looks when they've asked for it. Right. And of course, they think that white people are like the big, the hairy monkeys, and if they come in trying to drink that, that'll really annoy them. The thing is, right, this is the thing. When it comes to spirits, this is also very important, right? Because a lot of people here, they have Sang Tom, which they call Thai whiskey, but it's not whiskey, it's dark rum, yeah? So, Sang Som, right? The thing with Sang Som is, most locals don't really drink it very often, but it's like a rum, but they call it whiskey, right? Now, a lot of people think, oh, that looks nice, I'll have that. Now, it is nice, it's okay, it's a nice dark rum. But as with most dark rums that aren't very good, even though it's nice, it tastes nice, most people stick a load of shit in it, because for a start off, a lot of people don't really like spirits, they just pretend to because they think it's cool. Then they just stick loads of Coke in it and loads of Red Bull. Now, I don't agree with Red Bull in England. If I have the stuff in England, it makes me feel sick. It actually hurts my stomach. It's not very good for me. I just know it's no good for me. Now, here, they stick more nasty chemicals, apparently, in the Red Bull. But my theory is they don't actually stick worse chemicals in. It's just that they had these namby-pamby rules in the West where people stick all sorts of shit in because they're not allowed to stick some kind of amphetamine in it, whereas here they just stick the amphetamines in. That's what I think it is. Because if you have the Red Bull here, you can get it in bottles, cans, all sorts. It's quite a few different ways you can buy it, and loads of different competing brands. All taste pretty much the same. They don't make you feel ill. They've never ever made me feel ill. And I've drank them when I'm doing exercise. I've drank them when I'm going out drinking. And I've drank them when I'm a bit tired. And I've never had a single ill effect off them. I'm not saying they're good for you. I don't know, but I'm just saying. But I'm not one of these fiends who drinks it all the time. I would hardly ever drink it. I haven't had any probably for like 2 or 3 months. I've been here more than that. So I haven't touched anything like that. Now, here's the thing, as I said, the spirit is the big deal, right? So if you're having, most people have Sangsom, they think that's like the good alcoholic drink, which isn't a beer, like the kind of harder drink. The problem with it is they stick a load of Coke in it or a load of this like Red Bull type stuff. But the thing is, for a start off, they'd be much better going for one of the other brands, possibly if Red Bull doesn't agree with them. But as well, putting loads of Coke in with spirits often makes you feel sick because you're taking in all that sugar, and it's it's no good for you. That's what I've found in the past anyway, because as I said, with Red Bull, it often makes me feel sick if I drink it. Whereas if I just had the spirits, I wouldn't. But the point is that if you're on holiday and you're going into a shop, you can get a bottle of Sangsom for like 150 baht. You can get like a kind of hip flask. Right, that's £3, just under £3. You can get a whole bottle, like a great big, proper 70 centilitres, for like 300 baht. So that's, or is it even 300 baht? Maybe slightly less. But yeah, basically that's £6. So that's not a lot of money. But this is the big but, right? If you've got a little bit more money, right, or less money, people sort of make these decisions based on that, but they're aiming for Samsung, and this is where the problem is, because there's this other one called Mekong, right? Now Mekong's got a kind of yellow label, a yellowy orange with red writing on, red like scribbles, because it's scribbly writing they have here. It's not like the writing we recognise. Normally doesn't actually say anything in English on it, but it's yellowy orange with red writing on. Now this Mekong is like absolutely horrible shit. You drink it, it makes you sort of, you can feel like you're having like gut rot when you have it. And also the next day you'll feel shit. Now, Sangsom is the same. You won't feel particularly good the next day. It won't. I'm not saying it's not bad. It's not bad. It's a lot better than a lot of the shit you get in England. You pay a lot of money for. But the thing is, and this is the really big one. This is the big plug. Here you've got brandy. You can always get brandy, right? And the brandy, again, I don't know what they put in it, but I can absolutely swear to you, the brandy you get here, which is called Regency, like the posh English Regency, but they call it Regency, like that. So if you don't say it properly, they won't know what it is. Like if you said French fries, or you said French fry, they understand what French fry is, but they won't understand French fries. French fry, they understand that Regency, they'll understand. Now, if you get that costs, I think it is 250 baht for a hip flask, or 500 baht for a proper, 70 centilitres thing. But you see, that's proper brandy. Now, I've been to Bulgaria in the past, and the brandy they have there, all different types, incredibly cheap. It's way, way cheaper. But the point is that if you can get a whole bottle of brandy for like a tenner, and it's good brandy, then you should probably go for that if you're on your holiday. Don't fuck your holiday up drinking some poxy, pikey beer that you would never consider ever... Well, not pikey beer, because pikeys don't drink shit beer, do they? Why would you be drinking something that the locals won't even drink? It's stupid. It's very stupid. But in all the 7-Elevens, you can always get Regency. All the bars, they'll have Regency in there. They'll never pour it out for the visitors, because they don't think they're going to ask for it, because they're just used to them asking for the same thing all the time, like they play all shit Bob Marley music. Because I don't think Bob Marley's shit, but every time you go abroad to some pikey country, you've got this Bob Marley music, and it's like they don't play it themselves, it's just they think that's what foreigners like. So if you want to go and have a few drinks here, I would highly recommend you consider this. I know I've been talking about it for quite a long time, but like this is important information that can really help you if you have a holiday. Get Regency and mix it with, for instance, soda water. Soda water goes with it, and get ice. Ice is cheap. You can buy it everywhere. It's basically, you can, for 80 pence, you can get a bag of ice, which is like the same size as a 50-kilo bag of cement. Like a huge, huge, huge bag that, like an entire rubbish black bag for your rubbish bin type full of ice. You can get that for like 80 pence. But the point is, normally because of inconvenience, you get smaller amounts, or you can get it free in any restaurant and stuff. That you can have as much as you like. But you see, this is the thing, is that if you go for the Regency, it's like your perfect alcoholic drink. It doesn't get you really drunk, but it's 40%. It's not some cheap half-cocked brandy. It's proper, it's proper refined, because of course, if it's not strong enough, that's often because they haven't managed to purify it properly and make you sick. But the thing is that if you drink that, it's a kind of drink you could drink, like, say, like one half of a set, like a kind of hip flask full of it. And then 2 hours later, you'd be totally fine. You wouldn't have none of the negative effects of booze with all of the positives. So you'd be completely lucid. You know what I mean? You could you could even probably go for a run or something that you really wouldn't normally feel like doing, and it wouldn't make you feel sick. Like, have you ever tried to go out for a few drinks, have a little sit down, and then have to go out and do something strenuous? And often it feels really horrible. With that, you wouldn't. But very, very good, because the thing is, when it's very, very hot weather, obviously it's good to drink beer because beer has got calories in, and it kind of keeps your system ticking over. I think it's actually quite healthy for you drinking beer when you're in another country, especially if you don't know about the food, because you get the shits and stuff like that. It's probably better to. Beer is actually quite a nutritious. You can't really go too wrong with it. Especially if you're English, you're used to drinking it probably. But if you're out at night time, it doesn't make sense to be spending £1.10 on a sort of pint of beer, because, and in a bar it could be twice that much. When you can be getting the brandy, and the brandy costs like a tenner a bottle, And if you got it in a bar and you wanted to get like a whole bottle and you wanted to actually buy it in the bar, you can get it, probably cost 2.5 times that much. Or you can bring your own in and you play corkage. It works out the same. You can actually do that here. The other thing is, if you go to a restaurant, you're allowed to bring your own drink, but you've got to. There's two different ways. Sometimes you have to pay corkage type thing, but normally if it's a restaurant, and lots of these restaurants, they'll be up drinking all through the night, like really quite late at night. So it's not like they're shutting you out at like 12 o'clock or anything. You just have to buy soda water and ice off them, and they'll charge you like 80 pence for a big bottle of soda water and stuff like that. So you'll end up paying a load of money for the soda water, whereas it would cost you like 10 pence a bottle in the shop. And you might go through, if there's a few of you, you might go through 15 bottles of soda water because they're only small. They're about the size of a can of Coke sort of thing. But anyway, hopefully that will help you right now. So I'm saying to you, do not automatically just be a sheep and drink chain beer. Now this is the big thing, right? If you're walking down the street in Thailand, people always want you to do shots. Now they've got rid of the culture of doing shots at the petrol station. They stopped that one. And if you have you go on a road trip, everyone gets pissed. That's not really, it's frowned upon now. You can actually get in trouble for it. Now apparently it's always been illegal to drink drive here, but I get mixed messages, because like some guy I used to know, he told me that if the police catch you, a load of you driving in a car, and you're not drinking, like on a road trip, there's a load of like men in the car or young lads, they'll be like, well, what on earth are these lads doing? They must be trying to keep their heads together because they're drugs trafficking, because they're all drug trafficking all the time there. So they used to not throw the beers out the car. They used to keep them in the footwell. So if the police stop them, they go, oh look, beers. We've just been going for like innocent drink driving little excursion. And the police go, oh right, yeah, okay, good. But you see, at one stage in the past, you used to constantly be getting people giving you shots in the petrol station. If you stopped at the side of the motorway to get something, they'd be like, you buy a few beers, they'd be like, whoa, have a shot, like. That all, the good old days are long since gone. I mean, you can't even get beer in a 7-Eleven or in a service station that's on the motorway now. It's impossible. You can't get it. You know what I mean? They've clamped down on it, and they still drive just exactly the same as they did before. But anyway, point is, this is the thing. If you haven't got much money, or you're thinking you're going to save a bit of money, don't buy that shitty Mekong because it's horrible. Right now, this is one that you should buy. I would go for, right? And I'm not recommending this from a health point of view, but see this one here. Now this is called Lao Cow, yeah? Whiskey white it's called, yeah? Now this is basically this is kind of like moonshine, but it's not moonshine, it's actually regulated moonshine, yeah? Now again, this comes in that size bottle, which is the same as the kind of normal Budweiser bottle, and then it comes in a big, exactly the same as the Leo bottle, which is the one that I've got there. You can get it in the same size bottle, which is almost twice as much as the little bottle. Now again, this Lao Cow whiskey white is not particularly nice tasting, but this is the big deal, right? You've got Lao Cow, then you have this stuff called Yadong. So that would come out, that would be completely white, just looks like water, yeah, like vodka or pochin, something like that, moonshine. But you can also get this stuff called Lao Cow. I mean, Yadong. Now Yadong has got like a kind of reddish colour to it. Now I thought they used to be different because they taste totally different. Now it's got all sorts of stuff in it, right? But what it is it's kind of like a kind of an aperitif. It turns Lao Cow into an aperitif. So I've got some of the powder here. Now you can buy it in a bottle, but you can also get this powder. And if you add this powder to the Lao Cow and you leave it for like half an hour, it's best you leave it for a couple of days, but you can get it quite up in 10 minutes. It changes the taste significantly, but it's kind of like a pink colour then. It's not like a really nice rich red colour. This stuff here This is called 11 tigers. Now, if you count there's 11 tigers. It says some stuff on the back about how you can actually take it for kind of period problems and yeah, like they're basically saying it's very good for you. But the point is, if you mix this stuff, which is powder, with that, or you can also get it as kind of block, like an oxo cube type thing. It's kind of in a block. You can mix that with it, and it makes it into yadong. Now, yadong, this cost 20 baht, so that's like 40 pence or 37 pence, right? And this little bottle of lao khao cost 60 baht. Right, now that is £1.20. But you see, that is, what is it, 30%? No, 33, no, I don't know what it is. What is it? 20%. It's 20% proof, but it's actually kind of strong. You know the way you get some kind of spirits, which are kind of weak spirits, and they just taste like watered down whiskey or brandy. That doesn't. That's like very strong, and it gets you drunk. It does get you drunk. Now, if you get the kind of, you can get other types of that, but that's kind of effectively like getting pochin and having a regulated pochin that's all the same, and it's never stronger, it's never weaker. So as I said, the chang, you can't actually know with the chang. Sometimes you drink the chang, and it makes you absolutely completely off your head, or things like your legs will go. You know, I just basically avoid it. And I said I'm a bit of a drunkard, so you know if I tell you not to drink, and the person told me not to, he likes to drink as well, and he said just don't do it because it get you in trouble. You know, just completely avoid it. So if you're going on holiday and you want to save money, just remember the whiskey white, lao khao. And if you don't like the taste of whiskey white, which hopefully you won't, because unless you're a real complete absolute lao khao fan, 11 tigers, yadong, and then it will taste nice, kind of cinnamony red, like an aperitif, really nice. I mean, it's not as nice. I'm not saying it's as nice, but you know that Luxardo makes the sambuca for Christmas, and it's kind of in a red bottle, and it's kind of all cinnamony. It smells of Christmas, tastes of Christmas. Yadong's not far off it. It really isn't. It's really very nice. Anyway, I've been Tom Carhill. Hopefully this will help some people. I'm sorry about the film quality. I just wanted to get it out because I might have a job. I might be moving. So if I do, I've had that packet of that 11 Tiger stuff for the last 3 or 4 months just sitting there, and I just wanted to get it out. Maybe I'll make a better video in the future, or I might make one to show people how the two mix together, just to speak some more about something that a very few people might be interested in. Because of course the problem is, like I said, with the alphabet, I'm not going to be able to write lao khao down, for instance, and it be translated into English. So I don't really know. Everyone's going to think it's spelt differently. So I've got no idea how you'd actually find the video if you're all wondering about it. Anyway, my name's Tom Carhill. It's Friday, the 3rd of October, 2014. Thanks very much for watching.